Get ready. Get set. It's time for the basement view. Well. How's it going? It's me, back again. I gotta tell you, I'm happy. We're here on a Wednesday. It's cold out there. Oh my goodness, it's cold. I don't know what to tell you. And for anybody that give a damn, I've been staying in the house, okay? I've been literally staying in the house because it's too cold out there for a brother like me. Plain and simple. Welcome to the basement view. Hit that like button, or rather that subscribe button and that thumbs up. Click that bell thing. It'll notify you when I come on. That helps the algorithm. Man, I gotta tell you. Hey, what's up, James? How's it going? Hey, just before I came on, I heard one heck of a crazy report. Hey, Charles, what's happening? Apparently today, the Biden administration managed to work out a ceasefire over in Gaza, together with the Palestinians and Israelis. And apparently, yours truly, Old Faithful didn't like it. Okay? You know who didn't like it? That they got a ceasefire going while Biden was still in. And the House Intelligence Committee was involved in it as well. Well, that pissed him off. He made a phone call to Mike Johnson. Yeah, that's what it is. He's just jealous. Well, the dude made a phone call to Mike Johnson and told Mike Johnson to fire the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee. And Mike Johnson called Mike Turner in his office and fired him off the committee. Ain't that something? Now here a guy can make a phone call and get people fired off committees. We got a whole nother thing going. Hey, how you doing? What's going on, G? This guy making phone calls and getting people fired off committees. That's something else. Man, we got something new and unusual heading our way. So anyway, glad you can make it, G. I'm gonna start off this evening. I've been checking updates on that's what we're doing now. Yeah, that's what we're doing now, James, and it is gonna get worse. Yes, you're absolutely right. I was checking for updates on our brother Brooks, or the case where Mr. Brooks up in New York was beat to death. And nobody's been fired yet. There has been a few developments. Let's check it out.
New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision has suspended 4 more people in relation to the death of a Rochester man inside an upstate prison. Robert Brooks of Greece was an inmate at Marcy Correctional Facility near Utica when he was beaten to death by staff. That according to investigators. With the 4 announced today, 17 employees have now been suspended without pay. This comes after video was released showing correctional employees punching and kicking Brooks while he was restrained. Governor Kathy Hochul has directed Commissioner Daniel Marcello to begin the firing process for those involved.
All right, well, people have been fired, and they're about to fire 4 more people, but nobody's going to jail. We got a guy been killed, beat to death. And it's been over 30 days, or hell, it's been 2 months, and nobody been arrested. Now, what I'm used to is I'm accused of something, I get arrested, and then they investigate. I guess that's not the way they do that up there. Jail may or may not come. Wow. Yeah. Apparently. I mean, nobody been arrested. They've been walking around. Now they got fired. Well, haven't gotten fired yet because apparently they just got some commissioner charged with starting the firing process. You know, I don't know what kind of process that is. I know it's, you know, one of them civil service deals, so you got to deal with the union and all of that contract stuff. I get it. But a man lost his life. Mr. Robert Brooks is no longer with us. And the people that killed him are walking around on the street. And you had a video of them beating him to death. And let's say, just for argument's sake, that let's say he didn't die after this. Just the video of how they was treating this man is enough, I think. Just the video of how this man is being treated should have been enough for all of them to be in jail. I don't get it. I simply don't get it. If you do, let me know, because I don't get it. I mean, just a video of the brutality. I have not watched it since then because it's just too hard to watch. But nobody is being held accountable other than being fired from a job. That's crazy. Anyway, also a story. What are you saying, James? The new regime has made it clear. There'll be no law and order or accountability. You know what? You might be right, brother. You may just well be right. But this is New York. I would expect different out of New York. You know, New York is relatively, from what I thought anyway, New York was relatively even-footed. Now, I don't know, again, I don't know what the problem is, but it's been long enough for some charges to be filed. Say, don't hold my breath. Yeah, I guess you got a point. Don't hold my breath. I got a feeling. I'm gonna hear quite a bit of that here in the near future. I got this sneaky feeling. Man. Well, also got shenanigans going on down in Mississippi. Now, I've often railed about Mississippi. I wouldn't get caught in Mississippi. Okay? I don't know why there's any black people still living in Mississippi. I don't get it. But there are, and there's shenanigans going on in Mississippi. Check this out.
Well, charges have been dismissed against a father and son accused of shooting at a FedEx driver in Brookhaven.
Demon Gibson said he was shot at by Brandon and Gregory Case while delivering a package in January of 2022.
Well, Gibson was wearing his FedEx uniform at the time, but driving in an unmarked vehicle. The cases were charged with attempted first-degree murder, conspiracy, and shooting into the vehicle driven by Gibson. In August of 2023, a judge declared a mistrial after the lead detective in the case withheld evidence. Lawyers for the cases argued case should be dismissed, stating that the father and son had been deprived of a speedy trial and due process. In a decision this afternoon, Judge David Strong agreed with the defense.
Former FedEx driver DeMontario Gibson spoke on how he says the fight is not over and he won't stop until justice is served. This comes after Judge Strong dismissed the charges against a father and son after the shooting occurred in January of 2022.
It was thrown out due to a technicality. Even their lawyers were saying that they did what they did, but for a reason. The only thing they gave was excuses on why they did it. They never said that they did not do it.
A focal point in the judge's ruling was that the investigator Vincent Fernando with the Brookhaven Police Department made multiple intentional discovery violations, which the defendants in the case argued that it violated and deprived them their rights to a speedy trial, in which the judge agreed in that matter. Gibson says the cards were stacked against him from day one, and it led him to lose faith in the criminal justice system.
So, for me to actually go through this process and see, how it was handled and that they do this blatantly and stuff like that, it just really opened my eyes. Sometimes when you open your eyes, it kind of hurt a little bit because it's some stuff you can't unlearn. So I see how the system is now. I see that a lot of times, and I heard somebody say this, they say it works oftentimes in favor of the criminal. And I just believe that now. I have no faith in the system whatsoever.
Gibson says the lingering effects from the shooting still haunts him till this day, and he has thoughts of leaving the state for the betterment of his health. But he is pushing that off until he can gain closure in this case.
I take 2 different type of medications. I see a psychiatrist and a psychologist. I have trouble sleeping at night. I can't go outside without being scared. I don't even want to go outside. It's not over for me. So once it's over, I will definitely leave Mississippi and try to find a better place. But in the meantime, until this fight is over, I'm staying here.
Gibson says he is now searching for new legal representation while also in contact with the Department of Justice. Reporting in Jackson, Jalen Anderson, 12 News.
Well, somebody tell me, for the life of me, I don't understand why anybody is in Mississippi. Now, apparently, the lead detective on the case withheld evidence. Now, why would the lead detective on the case withhold evidence of a case where a white father and son shot at a black FedEx driver? You don't suppose that was on purpose, do you? And of course, the judge had to throw the case out. That's only right. Why is anybody in Mississippi? I don't get it. I would be so far away from Mississippi, you couldn't believe it. Maybe it's just good weather there. Anybody know what the weather like in Mississippi? I don't know. Yeah, say it ain't over yet. Well, hey, Ronnie, it says hi. Well, maybe that's what it is. Maybe people love the temperature in Mississippi or something. Because I can't imagine being in Mississippi for nothing. I don't see it. That's just me. Because I've never heard anything good going on in Mississippi. I haven't heard any encouraging shit. Nothing of black people. Oh, I heard how Brett Favre managed to get the governor and some others into a scheme to pay him millions of dollars of welfare money. Millions of dollars of the poor people's money went to Brett Favre. Or was it 1 million? Maybe it was 1 million. Only a million. Maybe that's what it was. And then they put tons of money in building a volleyball court for his daughter who plays on Mississippi's university team. I heard about that in Mississippi. I don't even get it. I don't get it. I don't know why anybody is in Mississippi. I just don't get it. Definitely not the place for me. I know some of you may have folks in Mississippi, and I'm sorry that I'm being so down on Mississippi, but I'm sorry. And I've been to Alabama quite a bit. And the more I think about how close Alabama and Mississippi are in the things that they've done in the past, I ain't feeling that great about Alabama. I've been to some nice areas there, but man, welcome to the United States of Trump. United States of Trump. Hey, man, but what was going on in Mississippi and Alabama was going on long before Donald Trump came along. Like I said, I've been to Alabama a few times, and let's face it, all across the South, all across the South is, not us friendly. There's tons of areas like that. There's tons of areas like that in Illinois, But let's face it, things haven't changed any down there. So they doing exactly what they used to do. So I don't get it. And speaking of shenanigans, say the rest of America would be like that. Yeah, the rest of America, it's a good chance we could see some of that flaring up, I got to tell you, though, I am eager. I am eager to get into this administration. Man, we only got, what is today, the 15th? We got 5 more days. 5 more days. And that guy be in. Man, this is, I'm almost getting goosebumps because I want to see what these dudes do on day one. Now, because, they had a whole bunch of spiels about day one. I'm dying to see day one. Armageddon is coming on day one, and I want to see it. And if it wasn't so cold out right now, I'd probably be out getting me some more pew-pew pills, if you know what I mean. And I think I'm going to do that when it warms up a little. I think it's supposed to be a little warmer tomorrow. I might get out. Man, I got to tell you, I have been dug in. It's so cold out there. It ain't friendly at all to me. But I'm dying to see what this administration gonna be like. There will be laughs the next 4 years. Ronnie, I swear, it's gonna be some laughs. It's gonna be some laughs. I can feel it in my bones, you know. Now, I must admit, I have been wrong about quite a bit over this last season. I've been wrong about a lot, you know. So this might come with a whimper, you know, because the dude, you know, the dude and the people that he's hired, let's face it, they are liars. We already know that. So they may go in and not do anything, you know. So I can't wait to see it. Yeah, next Monday. He's gonna start his new reign. I tell you what, though, they got a blueprint. They got an instruction manual. They've had 4 years of doing interviews. Yeah, ain't that something, Dr. King Day? Ain't that something? On Dr. King Day. Well, hey, let's face it. Dr. King Day is not on Dr. King's birthday. Now, wasn't that a finger in the eye? Wasn't that just a nice big stick in the eye? They couldn't put it on his birthday. And I guess that's to make sure it's on the same day every year. You know, I guess, you know. But, man, this is going to be good. And speaking of shenanigans, check out what's going on down in Florida. Yes, Florida. Check this out.
In Lake County, a case of distracted driving cost a deputy his job, but a sheriff's office investigation found he wasn't texting before slamming his car into a woman's car.
He was looking at porn. West 2's Justin Schecker got a copy of the internal affairs report and the body camera video from the crash.
The Lake County Sheriff's Office Internal Affairs investigation found that former Deputy Tristan McComber was looking at something not safe for work before this happened. In early November, while driving south on County Road 435, his body-worn camera captured the steering wheel airbag deploying. After his department-issued cruiser crashed into the back of another car. The video shows Deputy McComber tossing a cell phone onto the seat and then picking it up before he goes to check on the other driver.
Hello, ma'am. Are you okay? I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
My brakes locked up.
Okay.
You good?
I was like, oh my goodness, wait. Yeah, I'm okay.
According to the new internal affairs report, the deputy told a sergeant the brakes locked up before he rear-ended the other car, stopped for a school bus. This deputy no longer works for the Lake County Sheriff's Office. We're told he resigned while facing termination. The internal affairs investigation found he wasn't truthful in what he was doing on his phone right before impact. McComber initially stated he was scrolling through text messages in a group chat with other deputies prior to the crash, but the investigation found he was viewing something that is more visual and inappropriate while on the job. The report's conclusion says McComber admitted to lying before later revealing he was looking at pornographic material on his personal phone just before the vehicle crash. Deputies found he violated 3 sheriff's office policies. He departed from the truth, used an electronic device for something that's prohibited, and there was substantial evidence he wasn't wearing a seatbelt behind the wheel. Covering Lake County, Justin Schecker, WESH 2 News.
Man. And I guess not, Ronnie. I guess I guess he scrolled and found some real good stuff. I guess it was some good stuff. The man driving and watching porn. Who does that? except a cop in Florida. A cop in Florida. Couldn't wait. I mean, way to lose your job. Way to lose your job. I can think of 1,000 ways to get fired. And having an accident while watching porn ain't one of them. Now, here's the funny thing. Yeah, he could have just pulled over. Now, here's the funny thing about it. Now, check this out. What I'm about to say is going to freak you out. That cop, he could have shot a black man and not got fired. Did you hear me? He could have shot a black man and not got fired. But he lost his job for tearing their shit up while he was watching some booty. Is that crazy? Is that crazy? That's how comfortable that dude was. That dude was so comfortable that he was driving a patrol car with no seatbelt on, watching porn. Now you tell me. He might have been watching black folks get out. You know what? Now I'm curious. He might have been watching black folks get out. You crazy. You know what? You know, he might have been. That is pretty damn entertaining, I tell you. At least I'm told. Oh, golly, boy, I tell you. I got the best friends in the world. Oh, Lord. Wow. Imagine that, man. A cop riding around in a patrol car. Now, one thing, no seatbelt. Now, if anybody's supposed to have a seatbelt on, it's him. And he watching porn and tear their shit up. Now, that's why they fired him. They fired him for tearing their shit up. Okay? That's what that was all about. They fired him for tearing their shit up. You know? You fuck up the money, you're going to get fired. So... And one good thing about that video, their cameras are on all the time. See, I found that out with the Robert Brooks situation. I didn't know that most police body cams are actually recording all the time. They just don't have the sound on. They only put the sound on when they actually activate the camera. And why, I don't know why a cop has to activate the camera. I don't know, but it is what it is. So that's good to know. It's a lot of body camera footage out there around the country about stuff that's done went on. So it's nice to know that, you know, if you know about anything that's done happened and the cops was involved and they had cams on, you know, you can get that footage. So, anyway. Oh, Lord. Ronnie, you're killing me. I was watching the black folks. Okay, I get it. Trust me, I get it. Okay, moving right along. Hey, I got an interesting social media post that I want y'all to see. And when I saw this post, man, I got to tell you, it blew my mind. The visual blew my mind. And I felt like I got to share it with you. Check out this post and tell me it don't actually bring it all into perspective. Okay? Check it out.
This is what wealth inequality in the United States actually looks like. This grain of rice represents $200,000. That's about the median net worth of a citizen in the United States, which means if you took our population and drew a line split down the middle, about half of us have this much or less. Half of us have this much or less. Just going to put that down right there, 1 grain of rice. This is $1 million, 5 grains of rice. When most of us think rich, we think of $1 million. This is $100 million. This is about the net worth of CEOs who delay and deny care for sick Americans. This is also about the net worth of CEOs who tell Americans to eat cereal if they can't afford food for their hungry kids. This is $277 million. This is Elon Musk's personal investment in the 2024 elections. This is what he spent to buy the presidency. This is $1 billion. This is the approximate net worth of Vivek Ramaswamy. Only 800 people in the United States have this much money or more. As a frame of reference, think about how many people you went to high school with. Only 800. And this is $6.3 billion. This is the approximate net worth of Donald Trump. He recently said in an interview that he doesn't think he can bring grocery prices down after running his campaign on a promise to do so. He also blames immigrants who have less than a fraction of a grain of rice each for a lot of the financial troubles facing our country. And this is Elon Musk. He's worth $400 billion. He spent $277 million on the 2024 election cycle, while we have homeless veterans on our streets and hungry kids in our schools. This is what actual wealth disparity looks like in America. Each grain of rice is worth $200,000. And Elon Musk also wants to fire 75% of our federal workforce, which includes a majority of veterans. He wants to fire 75% of these people who have a single grain of rice trying to earn a living and feed their families because he says that that's inefficient. Musk, Ramaswamy, and certain members of Congress also want to consider cutting social welfare programs to support people with less than a single grain of rice from going into poverty. They want to look at cutting these programs because they believe that that's inefficient. Now that we finished the civics lesson, let's talk biology. Did you know that all human beings, no matter how much money they have, are all mortal? We're all made of flesh and bone, we all have to eat, and we all have to sleep. Each of us has only one life, and I encourage you to do something notable with yours.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Now, I thought that brought it into perspective. You know, did you see the difference in the piles of rice? You know, if that wasn't on point, like you're saying, James, if that wasn't on point, the average person has one or a fraction of a grain of rice. And them cats got piles like you wouldn't believe. And want to steal shit from the people that ain't got. Man, that's greed. You trying to kick the people that's down and take services and programs away because that's inefficient. Tell me what's efficient about a billionaire or a billionaire that's got 400 billion. And I like to say it the long way, you know, just to put clarity to it. 400 billion is literally 4,000 million. Okay? It's 4,000 million. Wrap your head around that number. And Elon Musk ain't got nothing better to do now. You know? Like Dr. Galloway said the other day, after you made $10 million, you know, you don't get a lot of joy out of your next 50. Imagine where Elon Musk is in his head. He's got to be just bored because, you know, he got the company that's putting satellites up. You know, he owns more satellites around this planet than any country. He's got SpaceX, you know, a space taxi. Every country using his rockets as a space taxi now. They don't even use their own rockets no more. You know? He's got Tesla. He bought X just so he could, you know, open it up for all kind of wild, wild west garbage. You know, X right now, from what I understand, people are leaving X and going to, what is it called? Blue Sky. Some app called Blue Sky. I'm not on X. I might go and look at Blue Sky because it's supposed to be what X was supposed to be. A friendlier atmosphere and a truer atmosphere. So the guy's just bored. He's into buying governments. Okay? Now he's buying and managing governments. The ugly truck he designed, yeah, he's probably empty inside. Yes, he is. Yes, he is probably empty as hell inside. If you listen to him talk, I don't know how many of you have, but I see a lunatic every time I hear him talk. Every time I hear him talk, I hear somebody that has absolutely no empathy for anybody else. He don't think in terms of empathy. Every conversation, you know, his mind is like dipping into all kind of shit, but empathy ain't one of them. So that's why I have to point out and keep in the spotlight the billionaires. I got to keep them in the spotlight because we have to pay attention. We got to pay attention. Don't know what we're going to do yet. I'm still looking into that militia thing. You know, I think it's time, you know, we had some kind of organization somewhere around here. Or at least know about some. So, anyway. So, right now is where I would normally get into the investment thing. As a matter of fact, I think what I will do is try and get into that right quick. Maybe I could, yeah, you say you all in that, Jane? Hey, man. I hear you, dude. I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be looking into it because I'm curious, you know, if there's anything around here where they're like-minded souls that want to protect one another. Have to get at some thought, some big time thought. So, it is just about 40 minutes into this, and shoot, 20 minutes. I can't really get into the investment thing. I would like to, but I'm 40 minutes in. I actually went 10 minutes over on the other stuff. So I'll get into the investment thing Friday. But I got to keep those billionaires. I just feel like I got to keep them highlighted because they're on the move. And there's groups of them, it's like there are groups of them that are splintering off to, how can I say it? It almost seems like they're trying to colonize certain areas of the country to start some kind of I don't even know what to call it. It's just evidence of almost a colonization movement going on. And it's weird. It's really weird. So that's kind of what I've been trying to keep my eye on. Also, just to go back to Mr. Brooks, I went back to find out if I could find anything on what was his name? They're giving America a reboot. No, they're giving America the boot. They're giving America the boot. Oh my goodness. Crazy. It's crazy. I wish I could be a fly on the wall in some of these meetings because, it is an active thing going on. But what I was about to say a second ago is, while I was looking for updates on Mr. Brooks' case up in New York, I also tried to find any updates on, if you remember, a Javion McGee out in Carolina, I think it's North Carolina, who was found hung. And there's literally nothing going on. The family's filed a suit and called in the Civil Rights Department. I don't know how much that's going to happen worth a darn with the new administration. But I was curious. I've been curious as to what kind of investigation going on, and I can't find that they're doing anything about that. So, if you've heard anything, let me know. I don't know if you remember. Javion McGee is the young man who was a truck driver from Chicago, and they found him hung at the base of a tree out in North Carolina. And it's like, that's where it ends. I haven't seen any kind of, announcement, any ongoing investigation, any updates about anything. So, you tell me. We'll see. Anyway, Friday, for sure, I will pull up the investment page and we're going to get into it. What I'm going to do is make sure of it Friday. Just went too long. You know how it is when I get to run in my mouth. Anyway, you know, and between that and you know, watching them black folks get down. Ronnie, you killed me. Anyhow, thanks. I'm going to leave it right here for now. I appreciate y'all for coming out and making this worthwhile. Or at least sitting down and paying me some attention. I don't know why I said coming out. But at least I appreciate y'all sitting down and paying me some attention. At any rate, I hope y'all come back Friday. I'll be here. And on that note, I'll see you later. Take it easy.